Hey everyone, I've been using Apple's new MacBook Pro as my main computer for the last few weeks now, and I definitely have some thoughts. This video is sponsored by Skillshare, the place to learn all the creative skills you've always been interested in learning. The first 1,000 people who join Skillshare with my link in the description get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare Premium, so you can explore your creativity today. Okay, so first off, let's talk about the configuration I chose for my laptop. I ended up going with the 14-inch silver fully spec'd M1 Max model, except 4 terabytes of storage instead of 8 terabytes of storage. Basically, I wanted to get a machine that I know will last me for many years for all of my intensive work. I do 4K video editing, photo editing, graphic design work, and I wanted to make sure that this machine would be able to handle all of the things I throw at it and not slow down for anything. My previous laptop was actually the 2019 16-inch MacBook Pro fully spec'd, and that computer actually started showing its age pretty quickly. Shout out Intel. And I ended up going with 4 terabytes of internal storage, which is quite a lot, because I wanted to have all my files natively on my computer. I do use quite a few of Samsung's T7 SSDs for backing up important files, as well as editing certain large projects on the go. But usually if I'm going to a coffee shop or I'm traveling, I just want to have all my files on my computer without having to bring anything else with me. And 4 terabytes is definitely enough. Let's talk about the design of this computer. It's fully redesigned and absolutely beautiful. It kind of reminds me of one of Apple's classic titanium PowerBooks, which were gorgeous machines in my opinion, and this has many of the design elements of those laptops. It's super thin and light, it's beautiful, I couldn't ask for more in a portable laptop. I'm also a big fan of the keyboard and trackpad situation on this computer. The keyboard is absolutely stellar. I do a lot of typing with emails, typing out point form notes, drafting up proposals, and this is an absolute joy to type on for hours. There's great key travel, all the function keys are great to have here, no more touch bar nonsense, and the power button, which is a fingerprint scanner, is very fast, very accurate, huge fan of that. And the trackpad. For a lot of precise, creative, complex work, you probably wouldn't want to use a trackpad for long periods of time, but with this computer, it's stellar. The trackpad is massive on this machine. It's not cramped at all like some other laptops where it's a super tiny trackpad, it's hard to do much of anything. Here, it's an absolute joy. It's responsive, you can click pretty much anywhere. I love using this trackpad for editing videos, editing photos, pinching and zooming in. What's also wonderful with this machine is the amount of ports we have here once again. We have 3 USB-C ports, a headphone jack, SD card slot, HDMI port, MagSafe port. That's amazing. It's also kind of the bare minimum we expect with a laptop, but shout out to Apple. I love having ports on my computer. This isn't some super crazy advanced feature, but being able to just take out your SD card and just plug it into your laptop with no adapters, no dongles, that, my friends, is a lovely, lovely thing. The speakers in this thing are also great. They get loud, there's some good bass, they're very warm. Listening to music just on these speakers at home is a great experience. And of course, that display. Now, I'm in a bit of an odd situation because I use the Pro Display XDR as my main monitor. It's definitely overkill, I probably shouldn't even have it, but I do. And I love that display so much. But as much as I love it, it's kind of a curse, because it makes every other display look not as good in comparison. It's just such a good display. But this laptop's display is pretty much right up there with the Pro Display XDR. It doesn't have the full 6K resolution, but everything else, it's amazing. It's super colorful, vibrant, and accurate, very sharp, and watching HDR videos with that up to 1600 nits of brightness is an incredible experience. There's also the 120Hz ProMotion high refresh rate, and versus a phone or a tablet, it's not really as noticeable or as useful in my opinion. Because there's no stylus support or touchscreen, you're not really experiencing that display as you would with an iPad, for example. But still, it's a great feature to have. When you're dragging windows around, zooming in, scrolling, everything feels faster and smoother with the high refresh rate. It's beautiful. And of course for gaming and other use cases, but for me personally, I just like how it feels. And I'm gonna talk about this point for like 10 seconds or less. The notch on this display is not a big issue at all. Less than a day, I forgot that it was even there. It's not a big deal. What is a big deal though is we finally have an upgraded webcam on this computer. It's actually 1080p, finally. You're seeing the video quality from this camera right now, and you're also hearing the audio quality from the microphones as well. Now, many of you have asked why I chose the 14-inch model over the 16-inch model, and basically, it's pretty simple. I wanted to try something different, and it was the right decision. My previous two MacBook Pros were the larger models. I got the 15-inch 2016 MacBook Pro and the 16-inch 2019 MacBook Pro. And having that big screen for doing work was great for a while, but portability definitely suffered with those computers. And in my opinion, this computer is a really good middle ground between portability and having a good sized screen. I basically use my laptop in kind of three different main settings. The first one is just around my home casually wherever I want. The second one is docked in my desk setup for those larger, longer projects or want to have a bigger screen available. And finally, of course, at coffee shops. So I'm here at what's probably my favorite coffee shop on the planet. This place is full of vibes. I'm trying to stay quiet, but it is such a sick place. It's my first time back here in almost 2 years, and there are so many parallels to 2 years ago. I just got the 2019 MacBook Pro fully spec'd. I used to come here every single day, and now I got the 2021 MacBook Pro. It's just amazing to have this much power, and I can do everything I can do at home, here, or anywhere else, because this thing is stupid powerful and portable. Like, I can just come here, I can edit photos, videos, no problem. The battery life is actually pretty great on this machine as well. I got the M1 Max 14-inch MacBook Pro, and I mean, the battery could be better at times, but usually for almost all my tasks, I can use it throughout the day. And when I get home, I can just plug it in. It's that simple. Now, of course, the battery life does vary depending on the work that I'm doing. If I'm editing a really complex video with full brightness on in Final Cut, yeah, the battery is going to drain a lot quicker. It's going to be just a few hours of work before I have to plug in. If I have full brightness on, editing some really complex projects in Photoshop, for example, yeah, I'm going to have to charge a lot sooner. But on those more regular, kind of mixed days where I'm using the computer on and off for a whole variety of tasks, I can usually get through a full day of usage. Just replying to emails, typing up some proposals, working on some projects here and there, maybe editing a little bit of a video, working in Photoshop for some light edits. Yeah, I have no problem squeezing out a whole day of usage with this machine. And when it comes time to actually charging this machine, shout out to MagSafe because it's amazing. And also with that power brick, this computer charges up crazy fast, like I've been surprised. And so far with performance on this machine, it's been insane. So I'm not going to do benchmarks or synthetic speed tests, and I really can't speak for every application, but for the things I use, this is an incredibly fast machine. The two really intensive apps I use with this computer are Final Cut Pro and Photoshop, and both of them run ridiculously fast. I've never had a machine that was this quick ever. Like, Photoshop has never felt this fast on any computer I've ever used. It's just instant for everything. Plenty of layers, like, it doesn't break a sweat at all. And Final Cut, 4K videos, lots of transitions, longer videos, titles. I have yet to trip this machine up once. And also with rendering videos, like in the past I've had time to sit and think a little bit, but with this computer, it's just so quick. Like usually a 10-minute 4K video is done exporting in less than half the time of the video itself. It's just so fast and so smooth. And honestly, I don't even close apps anymore with this computer. Usually Final Cut is open, Photoshop has a project in the background, music is usually open, Chrome is usually open, a whole bunch of web pages. This computer can handle everything I throw at it. Also, I haven't heard the fans once on this computer. Nothing. It's dead silent. And I know, this is the fully spec'd model, tons of RAM, M1 Max processor. It's crazy spec'd out. But even the lower end models and the base model I've heard have had really good performance as well. So all around, these are very fast machines. Okay, before I give you my final thoughts on this computer, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, Skillshare. Think of a creative skill you've always wanted to learn. Maybe it's video editing, photography, design, cooking, illustration, animation. Well, you're in luck. It's all in Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes about all the creative skills you've always been interested in learning. And all those classes are taught by creative professionals. They're engaging, entertaining, and amazing. And there are some pretty incredible classes like this one from Andy Pizza. It's all about unlocking creativity. With creative exercises, great inspiration, and so much more, it's an excellent way to dive into your creative side. The first 1,000 people who join Skillshare with my link in the description get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare Premium so you can explore your creativity today. Huge thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Okay, to conclude, I'll put it simply. This machine is incredible. The whole package here is just amazing. Beautiful design, gorgeous display, solid battery life, excellent performance. What more could you ask for? And yeah, it's an expensive computer, but it offers just so much in such a compact, portable form factor. It is incredible. And for the next few years, this is gonna be my main computer. And I can't wait to see all the amazing things I can make with this machine. And I can't wait to share all those things with you. And thank you for watching.